I just want to say that today marks the end of the campaign trail, and we are very confident that the people of Uganda will vote for change. My rallying cry, as you know, has been, do you want more of the same, or do you want change? And obviously, there is no doubt that everywhere people want change. And people have been talking about NRM and things like that. NRM is no exception, because the horrid conditions under which our people live affect everyone, including NRM members. So I know for sure that they want change. So we expect a strong vote in favor of change. Our worry has been about the management of the election day itself. And of course, our worries are not helped by the various statements the Electoral Commission has been making, including one relating to the banning of telephones and cameras at the polling station, and the second one about where the public should stand. If I may begin with that, I understand the Electoral Commission has decreed that people should stand more than 100 meters away from the polling station itself. First of all, this is unlawful because the law stipulates the distance, and I think it is 20 or 25 meters. The whole idea of the public remaining, this was part of the reform we introduced in the electoral process. The idea is the public should have a full view of what is happening. The only thing which is secret at that polling station is the marking of the ballot paper. And that's why the basin, which is a basin which is hollow, and you mark your ballot paper from the bottom of the basin, meaning no one can see you, okay, is the only secret bit in this election. Because the idea is people should be seeing this presiding officer or the election official tearing the ballot paper and giving it to you. They should be able to look at you and identify you, that the name that was read is actually the person that received the ballot paper. And you should be seen in the basin, even if they don't see your choice, that you have made a choice and you have come out with one ballot paper, which you go and put in the ballot box, which is transparent when it is one. This is very crucial. And this is intended to stop the possibility of ballot stuffing. And this is very important in light of the reports we've had that there are plans to do ballot stuffing, that in fact the ballots for stuffing have already been distributed, because they intend to do them in every polling station. Using very few ballot papers so that they don't become noticeable. So the idea that you should prevent any possibility of people catching evidence, hard evidence of that kind of happening is ridiculous, and we reject it. And the idea that people should stand 100 meters away, 100 meters away is too far for people to see what is happening. So why would they remain there? It wouldn't make sense. So we are concerned about this. And of course, as you know, I have very clear and categorically stated that I will encourage my supporters to resist that unlawful proclamation by the Electoral Commission. the Electoral Commission has power under the Electoral Commissions Act to vary even laws, but only when there is a situation that threatens to derail the voting process. And cameras and smartphones cannot pose such a threat. Secondly, I want to appeal to the state again to really desist from the kind of thing they did yesterday against Kano Chizabesile. I don't have the full details of what happened. I have the general information that Chizabesile was moving with his supporters to his final, I don't know that it was final, to his final rally of the day. I don't know that it was the final and whatever. He had a public rally at Makere. I mean, why would you prevent people happily moving through the street on the eve of an election, going to a public rally? What had they done? That you go to the extent of arresting a presidential candidate, firing at people with live bullets, in addition to the tear gas, and I understand some have died. Have we confirmed how many? 1. 9. 9 are dead. Whatever number, even if it is 1 only. It is wrong, it's shameful. And I think this may be deliberate in order to instill fear in the mind of the voter, that if this can happen on the eve of the election, what will happen on election day? Because they have been spreading rumors that there will be violence and so on. You know, in the last election, 42% of the registered voters did not turn up to vote. And these translated to 5.6 million votes. And as you know, President Museveni got 5.4 million votes. So more votes abstained from voting than voted for President Museveni to be president. So clearly there is a calculation that abstention may favor some people. So I wanted to make a clear and categorical statement that we condemn this and we call on the state not to be tempted to do those things. They are not helpful. We just want a peaceful election because what we are advocating for is peaceful change of power. That's all. Okay? Those are the 2 points I wanted to make. Otherwise, I can make a final one. Otherwise, on the campaign trail, of course, it's been tough, but I have been really encouraged by the level of enthusiasm our population has received us with everywhere we went. I saw some people counting the number of rallies they addressed. I have not counted mine, but I have addressed hundreds of rallies. There are a few places we missed, clearly, but there are not many. We missed Terego, which I apologized about in Arua district. We missed Namukora in Kitgum district. There was Gwemiaga in Zimbabwe. But on the whole, we think we have covered 99.5% of the places we plan to visit. And then, of course, whenever we found a gathering of people who had gathered to receive us, we always stopped. So we are definitely encouraged by the enthusiasm with which we were received, the enthusiasm with which our message was received by the population. And we look forward to a clear outcome on Thursday. Thank you. Well, we are planning to counter the possibility of the ruling party um, using state institutions to influence the vote on that day. There is no way I could stop it. And as I said, I don't encourage the use of violence to go and identify a crime, prevent and hold on to him, to prevent him or her from performing whatever instructions she or he has been given. But we will take our own measures to protect the vote and the process. And maybe it's not the time to share that. Our people want change, and I think they will vote for change. And I think they want change with continuity, by the way, because they want to build on the achievements already attained. And that's why I offer maybe the most ideal candidature to achieve that objective. Change with continuity. On the first question about the possibility of tampering with the process in order to favor one candidate, yes, we are aware of those, but as I answered the question from Moses, we will see, we will take our own measures. Actually, let me tell you this. I do believe that that electoral commission, given the freedom to act, I think they would act objectively. But I know the amount of pressure they bring down on them from government. And my hope is that they will resist it, because they have to take responsibility for their actions. And the government will not accept that they are responsible for actions that the Electoral Commission itself visibly performed. So I want to call on the Electoral Commission to be objective. The country has entrusted them with the responsibility to conduct an election which is the mode the people of Uganda exercise their power to determine who their leader is. And it would be something that they will be held responsible for if they don't, because they are capable. I know them, all of them. Given the freedom to, given a free hand, they would actually conduct this election fairly and objectively. But I know the pressures brought against them, and I can only appeal to them to resist these pressures, because ultimately they'll be the ones answerable. We've witnessed the abuse of state machinery, the police, and by the way, when I say police, I mean General Kaihura. I mean General Kale Kaihura, because as you noticed, many of the people in the police force, they don't subscribe to these things, and they don't even always act in accordance with instructions, because the police itself is all right. As an institution, it's okay. But again, it's some individual trying to manipulate it. So, when I talk about independence, for instance, of the police, it's that the command structure, the command is in the hands of a partisan hand, even if the rank and file are not necessarily partisan themselves. So, my hope is that the measures you have seen on the campaign trail, They try to use intimidation to keep people away. They have used bribery. They have used all sorts of things. But, well, they have worked to some extent, but they have not stopped us from campaigning and clearly delivering our message effectively to the population. Because that's all we wanted, to tell our people the change that Uganda needs and deserves now, and which we are pushing for. I have been stating what we plan to do. You've heard me on the campaign trail, Isaac. I've been telling our people to exercise maximum vigilance. That's why I'm asking people not to be far, to keep a look on what is happening at the polling point.
Is about starting point an assumption, or you know it's
No, I know the plans they have. As to whether they will be executed is now what we are working on. When I'm elected president on Thursday, I'll be president of all Ugandans. I'll not be president of those who elected me alone. And those who elected me should know it. I'll be president of all Ugandans. As you know, our vision, our overall plan actually, is to create a Uganda that works for everyone. Everyone, irrespective of their political affiliation. It is ridiculous to say that your area has not developed because you elected an MP who is the opposition. All the MP, what are the responsibilities of an MP? Is it to build roads and things like that? Hospitals? Of course not. So this is absolutely nonsensical. You know, I have always felt that, you know, both the police, I made this point earlier, the police and the military are Ugandans. They are like you and me. They are affected by what goes on in this country. The conditions in Uganda affect the army, they affect the police, everyone. So I don't like treating them as if they are different. And I know for sure that, you know, their sentiment is not different from the sentiment of the general public. Yeah. So the fact of deployment of these people in itself may be intended to achieve intimidation, as you are saying. The problem is command. It's not them. They don't act on their own. If they had to act on their own, they would be with the public. It is the command. That's why I'm addressing the command in the case of police. And in the case of the army, playing a supportive role, just being there, I would really not I would not take big issues with it myself. It's that, you know, when you bring in the military, they are not really trained to keep law and order. So their reaction to even simple things may be different. So I think they should come in at a time when they need to give a backup to the police as a reason, meaning that the situation has gone beyond law and order issue. Because if it is a law and order issue, it should be handled by the army, by the police, and then the army will be on standby just in case the situation has escalated beyond law and order. That's all.